Alright guys, it's Nathan. I am back with another video. I hope you've all been keeping well and safe during these crazy times. So due to the positive feedback that I got on the last video, I thought I'd continue with the theme of what you can do at home if you sustain an injury. So in today's video we're going to be looking at how you can assess your injury if you sustain a ligament sprain. It's an important note to make that this is just a guideline, it is not the rule of thumb. So if you do sustain a ligament injury and you are unsure of how severe your injury is, please seek medical attention. Also, please don't use this video to medically assess anybody else's injuries if you are not qualified to do so. So this is strictly a guideline for yourself, just to give you a basic idea of how to grade a ligament sprain injury. So in order to understand how sprains occur, we've first got to understand what a ligament is. So a ligament is a soft connective tissue within the body made up of collagen fibers which allows two bones to attach together, so it attaches a bone to a bone. Its other functions allow joint stability and keeping alignment, helps guide range of motion and movement, and also stops excessive unwanted motion within the joint. Now a ligament is a very strong structure, however these can still get injured and still get damaged. So when a ligament is overstretched with excessive force, usually a sprain occurs. Now a lot of people get confused with what a sprain and a strain is. So ligaments sprain, whereas muscle tendons and muscles strain. Okay, so if you get damage or overstretching in your ligament, that is called a sprain. Now ligaments have a very poor blood supply, and what that means is that it doesn't get the nutrients from the blood to heal your injury. This therefore halts its healing potential and recovery. So if you compare this to a muscle strain, a muscle has its own blood supply, so therefore heals quicker than a ligament injury, which means that even the slightest damage to a ligament can take a significant amount of time and in worst cases cause permanent joint instability. So ligament injuries are graded from 1 to 3, so with 1 being the most mild and 3 being the most severe. So I'm going to take you through each step and help you identify whether you have suffered a grade 1, grade 2 or grade 3 ligament sprain. So we are going to start at a grade 1 sprain. So a grade 1 is a very minimal tear or minimal damage to the ligament. So each grade is basically assessed on how many fibers are torn when you overstretch your ligament. So with a grade 1 you will have minimal ligament damage, and this can be identified by mild pain on palpation, mild pain when doing an active or passive range of motion test, little to no discoloration in the area where you have injured your body, and also little or minimal loss of function. So these are the quickest ones to heal. Now a grade 1 injury can take between 2 to 4 weeks to heal. Now you always want to give yourself enough time for your injuries to recover. So always aim to go close to 4 weeks. Now in some cases the injury can heal quicker than two weeks, but in other instances it can take longer than 4. So make sure you're always giving yourself sufficient time and don't rush getting back to activity. So the next on our list is a grade 2 sprain. So a grade 2 sprain is a lot more severe than a grade 1. So with a grade 2, a lot more fibers have been damaged and you may get a partial tear in the ligament. So the way to identify whether you have got a grade 2 injury is if there is severe pain on palpation, severe pain on range of motion test, whether that be active or passive. You'll have severe pain when at rest. There will be some obvious swelling and some obvious bruising, and joint function will definitely be compromised. So if you suffer a grade 2 injury, you are looking at between 6 to 8 weeks for it to fully heal. As I said before, you want to give it a sufficient amount of time, so make sure you're giving your injury a long enough time to heal before returning to activity. So always aim for the upper end of your rest time. So the third and final is a grade 3. So a grade 3 is the more severe of ligament injuries. So if you suffer a grade 3 ligament sprain, it is likely that the ligament has completely torn or ruptured from the bone. Due to this, there will be extensive swelling, extensive bruising, complete loss of function, and a severe amount of pain. So it is likely if you suffer a grade 2 or grade 3 sprain that you will require medical attention. I always advise, if you are unsure of what grading your injury is, always seek medical attention, as if you may be showing grade 1 or grade 2 symptoms, but then it can be a lot more severe than first thought. There's only so much that the eye can tell, so it's always important that if you're unsure to get a scan, get yourself checked out and make sure it is seen to properly. So as I said earlier, ligaments have a poor blood supply which affects the healing potential. So it's very, very important that with these injuries we do the correct amount of rehab. So when you injure yourself or when you suffer a ligament sprain, you will lose a lot of strength and stability in that joint. So it's very important that we build that strength back up. Okay, so this can be a long process, but make sure you're doing it and don't overexert yourself. And as the saying goes, and I mean this literally, do not run before you can walk. So that concludes the video, guys, on how to assess the severity of a ligament sprain. Hope you liked the vid. Please give it a like and make sure you follow us on all social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.